All right, guys, welcome to Take Your Base. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so usually I would not be talking about these type of things, but it does have to relate with sports, so here it is. So page 6 on the New York Post, Daily News, whatever you want to call it. Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez ended up breaking up. Now, why am I talking about this? All right. Why? I mean, I don't get any type of enjoyment or anything like that, but I'm not talking about this because Alex Rodriguez was a former baseball player who played for the Mariners, for the Rangers, for the Yankees. All right. I'm not talking about that type of stuff whatsoever. That's not the reason why I'm making this video. The reason why I'm making this video is because of the fact that this couple, right? Well, not a couple anymore. JLo and A-Rod were people that were interested in buying the New York Mets. And it was a bidding competition between Steve Cohen and JLo, A-Rod, and their investors. I know that Travis Kelce was a part of that investment that was willing to fork over money to invest into buying the New York Mets with JLo and A-Rod. I think it was DeMarco Murray there too, Brian Urlacher. I can't remember all the names that were part of the fiasco that was trying to buy the New York Mets. That was part of A-Rod and JLo's team. But oh man, the first thing when I saw that headline, I'm like, can you imagine what that would have been if they bought the New York Mets and they don't even get to see the first regular season together. Not even game one of the regular season hits, and yet this happens. All right, we're still in spring training. Steve Cohen has yet to see his first regular season game. We're still in spring training. All right, it's not even April. This is not even like an April Fool's joke or anything like that. Can you imagine? Oh my. This would have been like the most New York Mets thing possible if they would have owned the team, and yet in a few short months after, they would have ended up breaking up. How awkward that would have been. All right. Wow. When I saw that, I was like, wow, we dodged the bullet. I know we dodged the bullet with Trevor Bauer. All right. Him throwing, baseballs with one eye open, and then him hitting batters. I mean, if he would have done that to me, I know it's spring training and stuff like that, and him pointing that, oh, I'm throwing the ball with one eye closed. All right, it's a lame antic that he's doing right there. The fact you have to tell somebody what you're doing to show like, oh, I'm doing this as a trick, is pretty lame. And then two, I don't know who he hit. All right, I didn't really pay attention to that. I saw the YouTube video. But for him to do that, all right, and to pull off that antic, he's gonna do that to the wrong person. They're gonna charge them out. If that would have been me, I would have charged them out. I would have charged them out with one eye closed, and I would have just drilled them. All right, but aside from Trevor Bauer, we dodged the bullet with him, and it seems like we dodged the bullet with A-Rod and JLo, running the Mets. But wow, I mean, that happened. I'm like, ooh, I don't know too much of the details. I don't really care for the details that happen. All right, if you want to find out more about the details, I mean, go click on like E! News or anything like that. They'll probably have a lot more details than I can ever, give you. They're the 411 and that type of stuff for TMZ. But here in Four Corner Sports, we're just going to talk about the fact that, what would have happened. Now, imagine what would have happened. Them running, day-to-day operations for the New York Mets, all right? Them having an argument, them causing a divorce. Now, there's going to cause like some type of tension and divide inside the organization. It would have been just very awkward. It would have been very, very awkward. Thank the good Lord. Thank our lucky stars, the fact that Steve Cohen is now running the New York Mets, all right? It's not the Coupons, not the Wilpons. It's not JLo and A-Rod. It's Steve Cohen, all right? And each night before I go to bed, I thank my lucky stars. It is Steve Cohen, because look what happened right now, all right? A-Rod and JLo are not together anymore after a 5-year relationship. a 2-year engagement, and anything can happen, all right? But the fact that you have a billionaire hedge fund running the New York Mets, all right, is wow. You have like a little bit more certainty, going through with things running smoothly as opposed to a couple, all right? But that's all that I wanted to talk about. New York Mets dodged the bullet with them having the possibility of A-Rod. I was going to say A-Rod. They didn't mean to say that. A-Rod and JLo running the New York Mets. If I had to say anything, I just wish them the best of luck. And hopefully, hopefully things get better with their lives. But as a fan of the New York Mets, I'm happy. I'm happy that in the direction that we're going through. Jacob deGrom last week had pitched 7 perfect innings. All right, this guy was clocking in his fastball at 102. Happy in the direction that they're going. There's no word on possible DH or anything like that. Remember last year, right before Game 1 had happened between the Nationals and the Yankees, we heard a new change of rules, adding new implementations for playoffs, more teams added. So we don't know yet. But as for right now, baseball's looking good. And I'm happy that Steve Cohen is still the owner of the New York Mets. So then, thanks guys for watching. I'm Flavio Oriana, and I'm signing out. Peace, guys.